Hey all, Jason Levon, priest at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Welcome to another Pause and Pray. This past Sunday was a day of fullness for my partner, Christy. She was able to spend time throughout the day with all 5 of her grandchildren, always meaningful for her. I was able to spend time with 2 of them in the afternoon. I had work obligations here at the parish in the morning, but was able to spend time in the afternoon with 2 of them. And it's almost always a feast with the littles of laughter and silliness, of games and of fun and of life. And it was that way this past Sunday. What was most meaningful to me, though, was when my 7-year-old granddaughter, Kenna, wanted to bake peanut butter cookies, in part to deliver to an elderly neighbor down the street. And it was a gift to see Kenna and Christy in the kitchen baking the cookies, the smell that it filled the rectory with. And when we were finished baking them, or when they were finished baking them, wanting to go deliver them to our neighbors. So my grandson Guguts and I, we got Blue on the leash, and we walked down with them, and we watched Kenna and Christy go up to the doorway, knock on the door, and deliver a whole batch of freshly baked peanut butter cookies to our neighbor. And it was beautiful to see that love and compassion at work. The same love and compassion that went into baking them, there to share them with our neighbor, and the joy that it awakened in her, on her face with her big smile. And I found myself just in gratitude for the compassion that was already taking root in Kenna's life. A 7-year-old that wanted to do something like that. I know that our neighbor is still feasting on the joy of those cookies because we gave her a lot, but I'm still feasting on the joy of that experience as well. And seen through one lens, they were just peanut butter cookies, ordinary. But seen through the lens of faith, what was shared at that threshold on Sunday was living bread. In chapter 6 of John's Gospel, which we're invited to pray with today in the daily office, Jesus is talking about himself as the living bread that has come down from heaven. And that's met with bewilderment and confusion on the part of the crowds, in part because Jesus is so well known to them, so familiar, so ordinary. Is this not Joseph's son? They say, do we not know his parents? How can this be? How can he be living bread from heaven? But isn't that the paradox and the scandal of the incarnation? That in choosing to become ordinary like one of us, what's ordinary can and does become sacred. Even peanut butter cookies and bread, as ordinary as that is. And it's in that light that we're all given a holy invitation today, to pause and pray, reflecting on how we come to feast on that living bread in the most ordinary of ways in our lives. Maybe it's the ordinary everyday presence of friends and family members, our children, our grandchildren, our pets, that bring us to a feast of love and life. Or maybe it's in the everyday beauty of creation that we encounter when we leave to go to work, or when we go out for a walk or a run. Or maybe it's just in the gift that we awaken to another ordinary day, and opportunities within it to do things like check in on elderly neighbors, bake cookies, or just be kind and gentle and compassionate and forgiving. To be the body of Christ, living bread, waiting and wanting to feed this world in the most ordinary of ways. God's peace and blessings to you all.